Chris Harris here. Another episode of Buck Sweet Sports Podcast, presented to you by 810 Studios. If you haven't done so already, man, swing by 810 Studios social media page. Check out all the great programs, content they got over there. A lot of great people working hard. A lot of great shows. You'll find something that you like over there. So, uh, swing by, give them a like, give them a follow. Shout out Miss Tamika, A10 Studios. Check them out. Today's episode is Super Bowl week. So, of course, I got Allegiant Stadium in the background, home of the Las Vegas Raiders. Almost said Oakland. Las Vegas Raiders. That will be the place for the Super Bowl this week. San Francisco 49ers taking on the Kansas City Chiefs. So we'll talk a little bit about that. We'll talk about the real Super Bowl in the state of North Carolina that happened this past Saturday. Y'all already know what I'm talking about. Those North Carolina Tar Heels, Battle of the Blues, Carolina versus Duke. We'll do a little brief recap on that, and talk about a little bit of high school stuff that we'll be having going on next week's show. But we'll start with that first. High school wise, uh, they had their team banquet this past week, and also they announced the all conference and all county teams, and I got that list for y'all right here. All conference selections were sophomore linebacker Jaden Williams, senior wide receiver running back Josiah McLaurin, junior running back Josiah Robinson, uh, junior wide receiver slash DB Jakarion Keenan, senior defensive back Alex Evans, and junior quarterback Darian Blackwell. So congratulations to all of them. Our all county players. Oops, lost my page. All county was tight end Landon Pearson, the senior defensive lineman, offensive lineman Jameek Sampson, and senior offensive lineman defensive line Dexter Wilson. So congratulations to all those guys. Uh, yeah, got a couple questions about Amaris. Obviously, Amaris was the player of the year for the conference, so it's kind of already like implied that he's all conference, so that's why he wasn't really included on the list. But congratulations to all those guys. I'm not sure. I haven't got clarification yet, but I believe the Southeastern Athletic Conference. I don't believe they recognize offensive linemen for their all-state teams. Because that's something I just noticed the last couple of years. But I mean, it goes without saying that you got your quarterback and both your main running backs, well, actually three if you count Mars, making all conference and winning awards. So that doesn't happen without your offensive line. So I mean, shout out to all those guys. Like I said, unfortunately, it's unfortunate that the conference doesn't recognize offensive linemen, and I'll get further clarification on that. I know some conferences do because I believe they did it in the ECC. And I know they do it for like some media outlets, all state teams, but I'm just guessing that the Southeastern Athletic Conference doesn't. But I'll get further clarification for you guys. But like I said, it goes without saying that we have one of the best offensive lines in two-way football. Like I said, those guys got their recognition. I saw where for during the team awards, basically all the offensive linemen were recognized, so that's good. But like I said, you don't have the success with your skill players that we had at Clinton this past year without excellent offensive line play. So shout out to them. That's Sam Williams, Connor Boyette, Dexter Wilson, um, Walter Parsons, and did I say this? And Jameek Sampson. Also your tight ends and ace backs, Landon Pearson, um, Josiah Dwyer when he was in there, um, Ty Morrisley. So shout out to all those guys. And like I said, next we got some seniors that's gonna be making their decisions I had a couple already, but I wanted to just wait till next week and just have a whole show dedicated to all of them. And like I said, this is we got some big news today about one making his decision, so that's really good to see. But like I said, I'll group them all into a show probably next week, and we'll talk more about that. But I mean, just goes to show we just had a outstanding senior class, outstanding football team. It was a fun year, and it's really nice to see where these guys are going to end up going to colleges and seeing them take that next step. So really happy to see that. Um, Moving on, we'll start talking about get into this Carolina Duke recap. Um, really happy to see. Like I said, for people in this part of the in the North Carolina, South Carolina area, like I mean, this is just as big as the Super Bowl. Unfortunately, we don't have the luxury of having a football team that's in the big game, playing in big games in February too often. So for us, college, it's always been this is a basketball, it's a hoop state, man. It's about college basketball around here. Tobacco Road Showdown, Carolina versus Duke. Um, like like even when I was in the military, like you meet somebody from North Carolina, and one of the first questions I had old supervisor. One of the first questions he asked me, you know, when we first met, find out I'm from North Carolina. He was like, okay, so which blue? Like out the gate, I was like, oh, I'm Carolina blue, man. And from that, he was a Duke fan, and from there on, we always had some friendly trash talk. This, and it just it's just something special about that rivalry, and it never fails to deliver. Once again, Saturday, another classic. Carolina was able to defeat Duke 93-84. Big time game, big time atmosphere. Two top 10 ranked teams. Love to see it, man. Armando Baycock had a huge game. Uh, been taking a little bit of heat from fans so far this year. As far I guess just for a guy with his experience and his know talent, that it just he seemed like he's been a little off the last couple games, last month or so, and then there was speculation if maybe he was dealing with an injury or something like that, but just hasn't really seemed like the normal Armando Baycott. But huge game for him Saturday. Stats up real quick. Uh, of course, he finished with a double double, 25 points, 10 rebounds. Um, One of the biggest stories was a guy playing in his first Duke Carolina game. That's a transfer, Harrison Ingram. I mean, he hit some huge, big time shots. I mean, Carolina had a pretty solid lead for the most part in the game. And it seemed like anytime Duke would kind of close the gap, Harrison Ingram hit a big three, hit a big shot, make a big play. I mean, great game for him. 21 points, 13 rebounds. And the big thing was he was 5 from 9 for the 3-point line. So that was huge for us. And Carolina, like I said, we was able to get that victory. And like I said, it's always fun. I mean, a lot of trash talk, Duke fans before the game. Uh, oops, sorry about that. Yeah, Duke fans before the game. All of you hear it all over social media. And after the game, silence. Love it. I mean, it's not like I said. It's always fun. Nothing better than being Duke, especially when you do it at home. And I saw videos of Franklin Street after the game. Like as always, crowd crazy, ton of people out there. Like I said, you love to see it, man. And we got one more. Got a March 9th at Hansborough Indoor Stadium. A little inside joke for my Duke Carolina fans, but my Cameron Indoor Stadium. and that'll be another big one. And if it follows suit, man, it should be this could be the game that decides, conference regular season conference championship. I was telling one of my friends, man, I expected emotional letdown Carolina's next game. Here we are. It's Tuesday night. I'm recording this a little late because feeling a little under the weather yesterday, but I'm watching the game. I expected like I said, I expected an emotional letdown our next game. We're playing Clemson right now, and currently Carolina's was trailing by 9 at halftime. And we got it down to a 4 point game now. So then hopefully they get it together. But this is the type of that's the type of game I expected that, especially after something that's so emotional as a Duke Carolina game. And it always happens no matter what the sport is. It seems like you have a really big emotional win in that next game, whether it's a week later in football or a couple days in basketball. That you have a seem like you just have an emotional letdown. So hopefully we pull this out, man. You want to keep that that same momentum, and you want to build on your lead as far as the ACC regular season goes, and hopefully go ahead and get that regular season championship. But like I said, man, just really loving to see how Carolina basketball has been performing lately. Uh, didn't get to talk about it, but I told y'all last week. I said when we were playing Georgia Tech, I said watch it be. It's a trap game. It always happens right there before that Duke Carolina game, and we ended up losing that one by 1 point. Georgia Tech made a nice play right there before the buzzer, and uh, questionable call on the other end on RJ that should have resulted in free throws, but didn't. But like I said, if we had to lose that one to get enough motivation to beat up on Duke this last Saturday, so I can live with that. But yeah, that's something I really do. Well, shout out to Coach Stoudemeyer and Georgia Tech, man. They may not have the best record, but he's got two huge wins this year under his resume, being Carolina and Duke. So, shout out to him. But we'll talk about the big thing now this week. Of course, Super Bowl, 49ers, Kansas City Chiefs, me and there in Vegas. A lot of eyes on this one. I learned my lesson. Now, so far during the playoffs, I've been pretty spot on with my picks. And it's two games I've gotten wrong. That's the Kansas City Buffalo game, Kansas City Baltimore game. I learned my lesson. You don't pick against playoff Pat. And I'm going to stop picking against Kansas City. So obviously, my pick to win the Super Bowl is going to be the Kansas City Chiefs. I'm not sure how exactly they're going to do it, but I learned my lesson, man. Pat Mahomes and them boys have made me look stupid the last couple weeks, so I'm not doing it again. I learned my lesson. I told Sean the week before I should have known better, but like I said, the boys just find a way to win. Shout out to them, Andy Reid and that organization. They just know how to get it done, which is why I'm not picking against them. 49ers are a great team, one of the most talented teams in the NFL, if not the most talented team on paper from top to bottom. But yeah, it's just something about playoff Pat, man. The boys, they come alive when it's. I mean, that's just the makings of a great franchise, great coach, great quarterback, great team altogether, man. They know how to win when it counts. So that's definitely who I'm going with for Super Bowl. If I had to score prediction wise, uh, I'll say 31. I'll say 31-23 Kansas City. We'll see. It may not be, I mean, both teams have great defense, so it may not even be that many points scored, but we'll see. Um, Getting into San Fran, man, the Brock Purdy talk. Uh, like I said, I don't got no issues with Brock Purdy. I think I mean, I'm, I believe he's a great quarterback. I believe he plays in a great system with a lot of great athletes around him and one of the best coaches who knows how to, get the most out of a quarterback. But I feel like Cam Newton, man, Cam is taking a whole bunch of unnecessary heat for his Brock Purdy comments. And if you don't know, Cam on his podcast, a while, it seemed like it was a while ago, where he was talking about, game changers, game managers. He named a couple quarterbacks as game managers, which being a game manager is not a bad thing. It's not an insult, but everybody, taking it there. But um not once did Cam insult the guy, when Brock Purdy has a bad game, all these pundits on ESPN and all these other national sports outlets critique him, criticize him. But I mean, Cam calls him a game manager, and the whole NFL, all the NFL pundits and podcasts and guys are going crazy. And I'm like, I mean, it just goes to show the overreaction by some people. Like they'll show a 5 to 10 second, clip of Cam talking about Brock Purdy. So, calling him a game manager or saying he's the 10th best player on the team or whatever. And people will take that 10-second clip and just run with it. But you could tell no one watched the entire segment. Like Cam's podcast normally run like maybe about an hour or so. And yeah, he said they take this 10-second clip and that's all they're showing. I'm like, well, show the rest when he's calling him, telling him, complimenting him. But they like I said, they just show that one little clip and everybody runs with it. Now you got guys like, Richard Sherman and Warren Sapp, talking down on Cam for, just I mean, stating his opinion. I mean, like I said, I feel like a lot of it's just, like I was telling the guy, I feel like a lot of people just look for reasons to hate Cam Newton. So anytime he opens his mouth, they're gonna take whatever he says and run with it. But like I said, stop. People just stop looking at 5, 10 second clips and making a judgment off that. Watch the entire show. That's my that's my challenge to you out there. Watch the entire show. It's so easy to draw conclusions off of just one little clip, and then maybe think, well, maybe I should watch the whole thing and get better context. But that's just something I'm seeing, and I also found it funny. Kind of got into an argument with a guy. We're talking about, like I said, talking about Cam's comments, and I mean, he's saying that Cam pretty much has earned the hate that he received, and it didn't start till after he didn't fall on that fumble in the Super Bowl. And I'm laughing because I'm like, no, sir. The hate and criticism of Cam Newton goes back a lot deep further than the Super Bowl. It didn't start after the Super Bowl, the Carolina Super Bowl that we lost. Ever since laptop incident in Florida, I mean, you could date it back from then. It's been Cam criticism. When he was at Auburn, the whole situation with his dad and supposedly taking money for recruiting and this, that, and the third. So, I mean, anytime you're the number one pick in the NFL draft, you're going to be criticized. I mean, it doesn't matter. I mean, look at what Bryce Young is going through right now with this fan base. I mean, there's always going to be criticism. I mean, I just don't know too many franchises that will do our greats like Carolina Panthers fans do. Like Cam Newton is the best quarterback athlete, our only MVP winner ever. I mean, has like I said, he's basically our franchise's best quarterback ever. And I mean, the fan base just tears him down repeatedly, and it's bad enough that he has to hear from the outside NFL world. But coming from your own fan base, it never really it never he doesn't deserve the hate that he's received. And that's always it never did sit right with me. So seeing all this stuff going on in the news today, it just like I said, it makes it just make it make sense, man. It doesn't make sense, you know. like I said, Stephen A. and all these other guys can, make all these outrageous claims and tear down players all day and don't get ain't been getting half the negative hate that Cam's been getting. And like I said, it goes back deeper, man. I mean, to the way the man dressed. People used to all the time look here. He's more focused on his outfits than the game. He should be focused more on the playbook. This, that, and the third. But Joe Burrow, a couple years ago, shows up. It's either a playoff game or the Super Bowl they played in. Showed up in like freaking Frank Lucas, American Gangster type uh, fur coat and everything. Everybody, oh, he's got style. Oh, he's got style. Man, Cam shows up in something flamboyant. Oh, he should be focused. He's focused on focused on his outfit. He should be focused on the playbook. He should be focused on the game. Like I said, the hate it doesn't make no sense to me, man. It never has, never will. But I mean, Cam, if you ever watch his podcast, he has fun with it, man. It doesn't. I guess it gets to a point where I guess it really doesn't bother you anymore. For somebody like me who's a Cam fan who always respect what he did, not only on the field but off the field, like I said, it rubs me the wrong way. It is what it is. But if Brock Purdy and them pull off this Super Bowl, oh man, whew, we'll see. But like I said, man, sorry I kind of went off on a tangent there, but um, like I said, man, I got Kansas City winning, but like I said, if Brock Purdy and San Fran pull it off and Brock has one of these crazy games, man, well they're gonna go crazy on you, Cam. So man, you go ahead and get ready. But want to take a moment now to kind of dive. It is it's February and it is Black History Month, and kind of just wanted to spotlight a different athlete for their contributions or history to to whatever sport. And today's athlete I was going to talk about is uh, Eldridge Dickey, aka the Lord's Prayer. Hey, look, man, you got a nickname like the Lord's Prayer, man. You got to be a bad man. But he was the first African American quarterback that was drafted in the first round. Drafted to the then Los Angeles Raiders. Pull this stuff up real quick. Okay, they're the Oakland Raiders. Then, excuse me. Like I said, well, these teams switched so many times. I mean, they've been from Los Angeles to Oakland. I mean, I feel like it was a couple times, and now, of course, they're Vegas. But uh, '68 draft, they were the Oakland Raiders, and Dickey was All American from three-time All American for HBCU Tennessee State. Like I said, nicknamed the Lord's Prayer because he was real boisterous. Always led the team in prayer before the games. Um, let me see, pull up some more stuff here. Like I said, drafted in the first round by the Raiders, and amazingly, that same draft in the second round, Raiders selected Ken Stabler. Now, it was said that Dickey actually outperformed Ken Stabler during training camp preseason stuff, but due to what people believe were due to some of the stereotypes at the time, where a lot of people believe that African Americans, as we have so many, we're athletic, we can run fast, we can jump, we can do this and that and third, but they felt like we weren't, intellectually, capable of, being able to play a position like quarterback, which is, everybody says so much about you, how, how smart you are. They didn't believe we could, do that at a high level. So Instead, he was moved to wide receiver. And Kenny Stabler was, quarterback. And of course, he went on to lead the team to Super Bowls. And, not saying he wasn't a great player, but like I said, that just goes to show, even going back then, you same stuff that you see with like Lamar Jackson and a lot of other African American quarterbacks today. Same stuff was going on back then. Oh, he's athletic. We don't think he can play quarterback though. Let's move him to wide receiver. Yeah, it sounds familiar. But yeah, they said yeah, he just never really got the opportunity, even though he outperformed, Stabler in camp, but still went on to have a solid career. Won an AFL championship with the Raiders that first year. Looking back at his Tennessee, I want to look back at his Tennessee State stats. Like I said, he was a three-time HBCU All-American. Finished his career with 6,523 passing yards, 67 touchdowns. So played quarterback and punter. So like I said, man, these guys back in the day, they were so athletic, would do so many different things for teams. But let me see what else here. He was inducted into the HBCU Hall of Fame in 2005. That's pretty much all I got on him. But I mean, just like I said, I just want to take time to spotlight, different African Americans and their contributions in sports. Now, he wasn't the first Black NFL player, so don't get me confused. He's just the first one that was the first quarterback that was ever drafted in the first round. I'll talk more about, Kenny Washington and all those guys later on this month, but I just thought it would be, fitting being that we're, Super Bowl is being hosted in the Raiders stadium to start that, and that was just something interesting I had saw online. So that was Eldridge Dickey, the Lord's Prayer, first Black NFL quarterback drafted in the first round. So I'm starting wrapping things up. Once again, I want to thank A10 Studios, Miss Tamika. Please swing by the Facebook page, give them a like, give them a follow. For all my listeners who are still kind of confused, if you're looking for my videos, head over to A10 Studios Facebook page, Twitter, or X, on their YouTube, A10 Studios YouTube. Continue to check out the content. A lot of great shows on A10 Studios. I mean, you'll find if you like sports, you got me, but they got a lot of different other content on that page. So definitely swing by, check them out, give them a like, give them a follow, share the videos. Like I said, man, these people are a lot of great people. They're working hard on the content. It's nice to see people showing them support and helping them get it out there so other people can enjoy it. But thank everyone for joining me. We said we'll be back again next week. Got another great show for y'all. Hope everyone enjoyed the Super Bowl. Like I said, man, I got the Kansas City Chiefs winning this one. So we'll see what happens. Hopefully, I didn't put the mark of death on them or anything like that, or bad luck. But once again, thank everyone for joining me. Chris Harris, Buck Sweet Sports Podcast. Y'all have a great night.